Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shalakaya Chakshurunuttam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahabana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savahutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lavita Shri Shakhanvitamischa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutini Prabhupada Tipriya Shri Girirajaya Swami Sivamtarararas Bihari Bhaktinas Chatmadharya Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutini Shmati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shri Avadi Paschatya Shatani Nimikam Bhavati Vachani Pangum Langayate Girim Yatrupatam Ham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Hare Krishna. So welcome back. This most exciting reading, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? So this is very relevant to us because Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in modern time, and he appeared in modern time, very much relevant to us. And meaning all the stuff that happens in our era, in our modern era, behavior of people. So it's very much visible. So now, this is the story of how, so we explain how Mahaprabhu, he has two types of life. One, he has his inner life, and one, he's got the external life. His inner life is, he is Shri Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And he is relishing rasa in that mood. And it will pop up. So it popped up even in his youth. And when he was a teacher, he was dealing with neophytes. So that's why we find that in the later years, Mahaprabhu completely shunned the association of these neophytes. And he was only with extremely intimate associates like Swarup Damodar, Rai Ramananda. And when he exhibited his inner mood, and that was for 18 years, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared for 48 years. 24 years he appeared as a grihastha, right? Childhood and grihastha. And he took sannyas at the age of 24, as we're going to read here. That will be the Madhya Lila. And for 6 years, he toured throughout India, he preached and propagated Krishna consciousness. And then for 18 years, he stayed in Jagannath Puri. And that's where all his exuberance, how do you call this, ecstatic feelings, his expressions of Madhurya Bhav was visible. So the beginning of that time is starting now in this Adi Lila, chapter 17. So how, and he just changed. Yeah, so he appeared for only 48 years. He did his work and then he left. And I'm reading some other books, Manas Shiksha by Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami. So, and their commentaries by different devotees. So they explain how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he left, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, there was such chaos. So even among the devotees, they were with him, but they couldn't understand what was his message or how to practice. All of us, at least for me, like what was bothering me the most, it's not that I was like pious and doing so many, going to the temples, etc., etc. But I wanted a path that I could follow, that that good practice and follow, and nobody was giving me this. Only when I came to ISKCON, which is an expansion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching and his movement, then I understood systematically how to follow. And this is the problem with most Hindus, right? They don't have a path. We do things more like by tradition, by hearsay. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, so the devotees were confused. They actually didn't know how to follow his path. So then the Acharyas, Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and other books, they put up the entire system that Srila Prabhupada gave us and which we are following right now. It's very, very scientific. And here in this Chaitanya Charitamrita, which was compiled later by Krishnadas Kaviraj, so we understand them much better after we study Prabhupada Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. And in the meantime, we are now studying the history and the teachings. So we are very fortunate that Prabhupada translated this Chaitanya Charitamrita for us from Bengali to English. And not many devotees pay attention to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. They don't read. I was surprised to find out that many devotees don't read Chaitanya Charitamrita. They don't see the importance of Chaitanya Charitamrita. But I hope that when we are going through our discussions, you're appreciating what we are talking about. All right. So this is Nimai Pandit, who was chanting Gopi Gopi. So he was in that mood. And what mood was he in? Let's look. Okay. Text 246. I'll just pass. No. Text 247. One day the Lord, in the ecstasy of the gopis, was sitting in his house. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstatic gopi bhavi. So it was that move of gopi bhav. And he was feeling great separation, very morose in separation, he was calling. Gopi, gopi. A student who came to see the Lord was astonished that the Lord was chanting gopi, gopi. Thus he spoke as follows. So impudent. So he came to see his teacher, and he found his teacher chanting gopi, gopi. So he said, why are you chanting the names of gopi, gopi instead of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which is so glorious? What pious result will you achieve by such chanting? And poor Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is in gopi bhav. He's not conscious what this boy is saying, So he says, what? Hearing the foolish student, the Lord became greatly angry and rebuked Lord Krishna in various ways. Taking up a stick, he rose to strike the student. All right, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in gopi bhav. He is not in external consciousness. All right, and just the way the gopis, they become angry when they hear the name of Krishna. Radharani is in man. So he became angry, and he, taking up a stick, he rose to strike the student. The student now who in external life, right? This is what's going on in the external life. The student ran away in fear, and the Lord followed him. But somehow or other, the devotees checked the Lord, meaning now the other devotees, they understood that he's not in his external consciousness. All right, they understood this. So they somehow aste vyaste bhakta gana prabhure rahaya. So they checked him. The devotees pacified the Lord and brought him home. And the student ran away to an assembly of other students. So his students are criticizing him. And so those who understood his mood took him home and pacified him. But the student, he ran away to the students' union, all right? He ran to the student union. And so what happened there? This is where you stopped. Paruya sahasrayahan pare eka thani prabhura vritante dvija kahe tahaniyai. Okay, we finished that also. The Brahmana student ran to a place where 1,000 students were studying together. There he described the incident to them. Remember that Navadvip at that time was the seat of knowledge. So just like we run to US, I don't know which is the best university in US. I don't know how many make it up there. People migrate from India to US. So they think they will get a first-class education there, here and there, they migrate. So similarly, people were migrating to Navadvip for education. Vidyanagar was place. At one time it was Patna, was it? University of Patna. People were, we read about that. People were going to Patna to study Sanskrit, and they were all Brahmanas. And similarly, to Vidyanagar, we read about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Did we read about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in our class here? We haven't read, maybe in another reading. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also, he was a great scholar. So like this, so this area, Bengal, Puri, they were the seat of knowledge. So that's where 1,000 students, they gathered. They gathered to study. So the meaning the Brahminical class, all right? So the Brahminical classes across India, they will go to a particular university, Gurukul, and they will study there. So Navadvip at that time was a seat of knowledge. Hearing of the incident, all the students became greatly angry and joined together in criticizing the Lord. Okay, so when, children, okay, they think they know better than the teacher. So they joined together, the students' union, so they were criticizing him. Nimai Pandit alone has spoiled the entire country, they accuse. He wants to strike a caste Brahmana. He has no fear of religious principles. So, in those days, also the caste Brahmanas were very proud. They were not prepared to accept chastisement even from a teacher or spiritual master. So they think that they are beyond chastisement. So if I'm a Brahmana, so I'm beyond chastisement. And yeah, I think I mentioned last week, about this book by Raghunath Das Goswami, Manashiksha. So the very first verse is that we should take shelter of Guru, the sadhus, the Brahmanas, Vrajabhumi, Radharani, the Sakhis, Radha Krishna. We should take shelter of them. And the very first one is about Guru. And so it's explained that why we should accept a Guru. We accept a Guru so that he will chastise us, correct us, and improve us. All right, and here the caste Brahmanas, they're proud. All right, so Prabhupada is saying even 500 years ago, during the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so what to speak of today? Anyway, now the Brahminical class has completely gone. But that time, it was still very strong. So, I mean, that's what has caused the whole downfall of the Brahminical class. This pride, they refused to be corrected. And therefore, they made mistake after mistake, mistake after mistake. And that's how they ruined the entire Vedic society. So that's why we find Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we say, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Shudra Keninoy. Ye Krishna Veta Tatva se Guru Hai. Who is a Guru? It's not he's a Vipra, meaning a Brahmana. It's not he's a sannyasi or he's a Shudra. It doesn't depend on this at all. Whoever has knowledge of Krishna is Guru. So he made that statement because here we are, all this nonsense. Text 256. All right, who wants to read? 256. All right, wait.
पुनः यदि आइचे करे मारी बात हारे कौन वा मनुष्य हाय की करिते पारे. Translation: If he again performs such an atrocious act, certainly we shall retaliate and strike him in turn. What kind of important person is he, that he can check us in this way? 257. प्रभुर निंदाए सबार बुद्धि हईले नाश सुपथित विद्या कारौ na hoy prakash. Translation: When all the students thus resolved, criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their intelligence was spoiled. Thus, although they were learned scholars, because of this offense, the essence of knowledge was not manifested in them. Purport: In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Maya ya harta gnan asuram bhavam ashrita. When one becomes inimical to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, adopting an atheistic attitude, asuram bhavam, Even if one is a learned scholar, the essence of knowledge does not become manifested in him. In other words, the essence of his knowledge is stolen by the illusory energy of the Lord. In this connection, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes a mantra from the Shvetashvara Upanishad, Yasya Deva Para Bhaktir Yatha Deva Tatha Gurau Tasya Te Kathita Hyartha Prakashante Mahatmana. The purport of this verse is that one who is unflinchingly devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, and similarly devoted to the spiritual master with no ulterior motive, becomes a master of all knowledge. In the heart of such a devotee, the real essence of Vedic knowledge becomes manifested. This essence is nothing but surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedescha sarvair aham eva vedaya. Only unto one who fully surrenders to the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord does the essence of Vedic knowledge become manifested, not to anyone else. The same principle is emphasized by Sri Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. इति पुंसार्पित विष्णो भक्तिश्चेन नवलक्षण क्रियते भगवती अधा तन्मनये dhitam uttamam. A person who directly applies these 9 principles, hearing, chanting, remembering, etc., in the service of the Lord, is to be understood as a greatly learned man who has assimilated the Vedic literatures very well. For the goal of studying the Vedic literature is to understand the supremacy of Lord Sri Krishna. Sridhar Swami confirms in his commentary that first one must surrender to the spiritual master, then the process of devotional service will develop. It is not a fact that only one who diligently pursues an academic career can become a devotee. Even with no academic career, if one has full faith in the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he develops in spiritual life and real knowledge of the Vedas. The example of Maharaj Khatwanga confirms this. One who surrenders is understood to have learned the subject matter of the Vedas very nicely. One who adopts this Vedic process of surrender learns devotional service and is certainly successful. One who is very proud, however, is unable to surrender either to the spiritual master or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he cannot understand the essence of Vedic literature. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.11.18 declares Shabda Brahmani Nishnato Na Nishnayat Pare Yadi Shramas Tasya Shrama Phalo Hi Adhenam Eva Rakshataha. If one is learned in the Vedic literature but is not a devotee of Lord Vishnu, his work is a useless waste of labor, just like the keeping of a cow that does not give milk. Anyone who does not follow the surrendering process but is simply interested in an academic career cannot make an advancement. His profit is only his labor for nothing. If one is expert in the study of the Vedas but does not surrender to the spiritual master or Vishnu, all his cultivation of knowledge is but a waste of time and labor.
Oh, if we have to be very careful, this Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta online study, nobody wants to come and sit with a teacher and learn. We have to be very, this is a word of caution, to all our ISKCON scholars, academic career, you have to be extremely careful. Unless devotees are ready to come together in classroom and sit and learn. After that COVID, everything went online. And because it's so much less pain, you don't have to meet face to face a teacher And if they don't like what he or she says, then you don't know whether you want to turn up for the next class, and all your social interaction, you don't like the way he said something or said whatever. So very, very crucial what Mahaprabhu is teaching us here. So we're going to examine this. So when all the students thus resolved criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the intelligence was spoiled. The moment you start finding fault with your teacher who's authentic, bona fide representative of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is what happened. The moment, and remember, students mean you're immature, otherwise you won't be a student, right? And we have to also remember that the teacher himself or herself is already under somebody. Nobody will claim to be independent and I say, I know it all, right? Everybody there are sitting with other devotees. They're learning. Nobody stop learning. So if we are student, then little humility is required that maybe I don't know something. But here, all these boys, they gathered. When all the students thus resolved, criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their intelligence was spoiled. Prabhura nindaya sabara buddhi haila nash. Supatita vidya karau nahai prakash. Thus, although they were learned scholars, you know what's meaning of learned scholar? These boys, actually, I only used to read in books, and then finally, maybe Krishna wanted me to know. On YouTube started popping up. I don't know, maybe it was just a time that was going on in India. So all these, maybe because they were like, they were re-promoting, the Vedic Dharma, whatever, so it kept on popping up. And so I saw how in the Gurukul, how they learn, how they memorize. So these boys, I think you have first-hand experience of this, Anupama. Is it? You are in touch with children, right? In Gurukul? Yes. You
Yes,
can
sir.
tell us how they memorize, how they learn, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Everything is very structured and there is a method and they have these movements of the hand for all the
Mm.
sounds, subtle.
Mm.
So to that they memorize.
Mm. Mudras, huh?
Yes.
Yes. Huh? So they have a system. They have a system to increase their memory, right? So, and they're chosen people. They're not just from the masses. So this teacher, he said that when he opens his school, I don't know how many hundreds and thousands apply for it. And then he will select only 15, finally, who are actually proper. He said maybe 15 will finally be selected to join his school. And he said that when he speaks 3 hours at a stretch, these boys don't bat an eyelid. So, meaning that the teacher is not wasting his time. Here are qualified boys who are interested, and they will have it. Memorization is done in a very systematic way, and that's why somebody said that even if we burn down the entire library of the Vedic literature, you can't burn the memory of the Brahmanas. All right? If there are real true Brahmanas, right? It's stored in their memory. They can rewrite the whole library, right? So how that was done is amazing. But here, one point is being made. And that was the downfall of the Brahminical class. It's their pride. Very, very instructive. Thus, although they were learned scholars, because of this offense, the essence of knowledge was not manifested in them. We remember Karna. We remember Karna, right? Karna, he was very qualified. Somehow he was cursed from his birth. I mean, just imagine who he is, son of Kunti Devi. But he couldn't become the royal king, right? He was moved out, though born among kings, born from the sun god, and born from Kunti Devi, a princess. But his destiny was such that he couldn't become king. And then he, by hook or by crook, he tried to get, because it's his blood, it's in his blood to be a Kshatriya, right? So by hook or by crook, he tried to acquire knowledge. And meaning he is trying to go against his destiny, you could say. But different places he got cursed, right? Why he got cursed? Because of deceitfulness, duplicity, deceitfulness. He was not straightforward. He didn't say properly who he was, right? We hear the story of Gautama Rishi. One boy came to him. So Rishi Gautama says, "Who is your father, mother?" The boy said, "I don't know." So the boy went and asked his mother, who am I? Who's my father? And the mother says, she doesn't know. She's a Shudrani. She doesn't know who is the father. So the boy went to Gautama Rishi and said, "My mother says she doesn't know who's my father." Immediately Gautama Rishi accepted him. He said, "You have quality of a Brahmana. You're truthful." Satyam, right? So he was judged according to their quality. So that was the Brahmana's quality, you know. So Karna, somehow, because he acquired knowledge by force, by trickery, so he offended his gurus at different times. And he forgot the knowledge. So here is being explained that actually knowledge is given by grace. It's not pulled out from a teacher. It's given by grace. And when we offend the teacher, we lose the essence of knowledge is not manifested in them. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, "Mayaya pahrita jnana asuram bhavam ashritaha." When one becomes inimical to the Supreme Person Godhead, adopting an atheistic attitude, asuram bhavan. So here we are. Even if one is a learned scholar, the essence of knowledge doesn't become manifested in him. In other words, the essence of his knowledge is stolen by the illusory energy of the Lord. So this being in this material world is very risky. We don't know. Actually, we have to be averse to the Supreme Lord to come in this material world. And the symptom that we are averse to the Supreme Lord is that we become proud. So here, it's so much work up the ladder to be born as a Brahmana. It is truly a lot of hard work and punya to move up the ladder to become a Brahmana, right? And here's how we fall. How we fall. By not appreciating, by not giving, maybe I'm wrong in what I'm saying, right? Maybe I'm wrong in maybe I don't understand what my guru is about. Maybe to give that benefit of doubt. So when we become so proud that I think I know it all and I will dictate to my guru, right? So this is the attitude of Asuram Bhavan. And immediately what happened? Mayaya Pahrita Jnana. Their knowledge is taken away. In this connection, Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes a mantra from the Shvetashvatar Upanishad, 6.22. This is very famous verse. Yasya Devi Para Bhaktir, Yatha Devi Tatha Guru, Tasyaite Kathita Hi Artha Prakashante Mahatmanu. So there's the story of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. So a very learned, high-placed person came to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. And he said, I have many questions. So he wanted to speak to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. Now, he's a learned person, high place. So he came, you know how people are proud, they want to meet their equal, you know, like presidents of a country want to meet the president of the other country, prime minister of one country wants to meet the prime minister of the, right? Indira Radha, you know, all this political, you know, protocol, right? So, so this man came, you know, very proudly he came to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. So he wanted to ask questions and learn from him. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta said, wait, you go and meet that pujari. He will give you the answer. So now this poor pujari, you know, he's not highly learned, right? But what is he doing? He's doing the deity seva and he's washing the pots, he's cleaning up all the deity paraphernalia. Right? You know how deity paraphernalia becomes black? So all the time you have to clean. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, he sent that man, you go and learn from this pujari. And he will teach you. And this pujari thought, here a helper has come. You know, we always need people to help us clean this, clean that. So he said, yes, please sit down. So Guru Maharaj has sent one man to do some, you know, some work here. So clean, right? And then when everything was done, so that man went back to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta said, have you understood? Did you get the answer to your questions? The man said, yes, I have understood. But the answer to my questions has been answered. Why? Why? Because when his guru said, he approached Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. So when his guru said, Yasya Devi Para Bhakti Yatha Devi Tatha Guru, when his guru said, go and meet this pujari, he will give you some answers, right? And when he saw what was going on, he didn't say, oh, what? I'm so great. And he didn't walk off, right? He sat there and he surrendered and he did what his guru has said. So he got some understanding. You follow? Whatever questions he had, he got some understanding. Tasyate kathita hi artha. Prakashanti Mahatmanaha, meaning prakash, see, knowledge is revealed in the heart of a devotee. Prakashanti Mahatmanaha, it is revealed in the heart. Like we are speaking now so many things, but unless and until that knowledge gets revealed in our hearts, we can't understand what we are reading. Otherwise, we just read like, you know, reading history book, geography book. You know, like I had one teacher, she was absent. I think maybe it was physics class or something, you know. So they've sent the art teacher to replace her. And by good luck, it was our exam paper. It was our exam paper. So this art teacher sat there and she gave us all the answers because she didn't know anything about physics. Right. So meaning she's reading the paper, it doesn't make any sense to her, right? So similarly, we read the books exactly like my art teacher who was reading our physics paper. All right. So we read the books and we can't know what's being taught here. So, artha, tasyate kathita hi artha. The purport of this verse is that one who is unflinchingly devoted to the Supreme Person Godhead, Vishnu, and similarly devoted to the spiritual master with no ulterior motive. Like I explained, so this man, he had no ulterior motive. He was genuine. He wanted to learn. So he accepted the instruction of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, and he understood. So what happened? He becomes a master of all knowledge in the heart of such a devotee. The real essence of the Vedic knowledge becomes manifested. This essence is nothing but surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all the literature that we are reading has only one purpose. What is it? This Sambandh Gyan. Oh, this Sambandh Gyan, meaning our Sambandh with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then accepting the practice, which is the the abhiday, systematically accepting the abhiday, the method to re-establish that sambandh. And finally, by doing that abhiday, we will reach the goal. So this essence is nothing but surrender to the Supreme Personality Godhead. Vedischa sarvar aham eva vidyah. Only unto one who fully surrenders to the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord does the essence of Vedic knowledge become manifested, not to anyone else. So when we practice Krishna consciousness, then the Supreme Lord becomes visible to us. We start to experience Krishna in our life. We start seeing Krishna himself giving us guidance. Krishna himself telling us whether he's pleased or not. It's just revealed. Prakashante Mahatmanaha. Prakash. Knowledge finally is Prakash. If we read Bhagavad Gita, please read again. I'm having Bhagavad Gita classes. It goes on Facebook on Tuesdays from 3:45 to 5:15. And believe me, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita as I've never read in my entire life. So it's on Facebook. You can just go on my page. And yeah, just join, read, or whatever you can get it back on the page, Bhagavad Gita. I'm amazed when I'm reading this Bhagavad Gita. So this same principle is emphasized by Sri Prahalad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.24. Iti pumsarpita Vishnu bhaktischain nava lakshana kriyate bhagavatya dha tanmanye dhitam uttamam. So this Bhagavad Gita, as I'm saying, could be in the beginning the way, my art teacher read the physics paper, right? It could be this way, or the same Bhagavad Gita when you're reading one time. You reread under guidance, you hear, never stop hearing. The secret is never stop hearing. Whoever may be speaking, don't think small or big. And I keep saying it. You join one channel. If you are in Ahmedabad, if you are in Jaipur, wherever you may be, if you want to learn, you stick to one. If in Ahmedabad it's going on, this YouTube, I don't know whether they have it, or in Jaipur, because all our classes goes live everywhere. Without fail, you listen. You will learn a lot. Don't jump, you learn nothing. I call it time pass. This is how I'm learning. Without fail, every day. I'm listening. I may not be able to come, I'm now in this age where So many stuff go wrong. So I will go have my morning program, and then I will have my own sadhana here in my room, my deities, and I will listen to the class online. YouTube, meaning it's just here. What I notice is that class which is nearest to, because for me it's just down here in the temple. All right. So I can open my door and I can hear, but I don't hear properly. But if I will go on YouTube, it's as if I'm in the temple room right there. The range is so small. Right. So it's as if you're there. And if I have any question, I will run down. I will run down and I catch, I'll just catch the speaker and I will just say something or ask something, right? And sometimes I want to see the speaker, so I will run down, So you have to systematically listen. Krama. I don't know where we read this. Krama is very important. Where was it? Okay. So now another verse is quoted. A person who directly applies these 9 principles, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandana, etc., in the service of the Lord is to be understood as a greatly learned man who has assimilated the Vedic literatures very well for the goal of studying the Vedic literatures to understand the supremacy of Lord Shri Krishna. So now what happens with me? So I will read, and then I say, okay, meaning I should practice, right? So what will I do? I want to chant. I don't want to just go on reading, right? Because I have understood that by chanting, this is the practice, and I will get the understanding, the knowledge, I will get the connection with Krishna if I pick up my beads and I chant. And I want to improve my chanting. And what do I want to do? I want to do my deity services. Because this is the Abhiday, now it's the practice. But it is not just a means to an end, it is the means and the end also. Right? Then I feel inspired. And I think, oh, I'm old, I'm tired, this is breaking, that is breaking. I don't know whether I should do more and more, this preaching, that preaching. And then suddenly I find a fire rising again. And I say, okay, book marathon has started. Let's get into it. Oh, the next program, we want to do it. Why? Why? Because we know that we are accessing Krishna when we are reading. We know we are accessing Krishna through these means, through our chanting, through our distribution of the knowledge, through the direct deity seva, through all the angas of bhakti that so many are covered when you just visit the temple. So many are covered. The 64 items of sadhana bhakti. They say 40, at least 40 of the items are covered in morning program till 9 o'clock. So it's so important. Srila Prabhupada's temples are so important. So even if once or twice a week you manage to make it to a temple, right? That will push you to practice at home. Prabhupada said, we are teaching in our temples so that you practice in your own home. And believe me, 100% it works. You'll be satisfied. You'll be satisfied with your own sadhana when you will visit the temple. And you participate in the programs. Because there is a lot of energy, momentum that you gather. Sridhar Swami confirms in his commentary that first one must surrender to the spiritual master. Then the process of devotional service will develop. This is instruction number 1 in Bhagavad Gita. After Krishna enumerated all the different methods by which we can attain knowledge, finally he says, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Right? Upadekshanti te jnanas tattva darshanah. What's that?
उपदेक्षयन्ति ते ज्ञानं
Jnana
ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Jnanina tattva darshana. You approach a self-realized soul. If you want to learn, you must approach a self-realized soul. And how, in what attitude? Mood of submission and service. And here the contrary is being exhibited. These boys, these caste brahmanas, see, when one gets contaminated, that one easily contaminate the others, right? This one boy went to 1,000 others. And because they are neophytes, right? So the one contaminate 1,000 others, and they become a huge union, and then they create havoc. Yeah, so it is not a fact that only one who diligently pursues an academic career can become a devotee. So that I have said it from the beginning itself. Even with no academic career, if one has full faith in the spiritual master and the Supreme Person Godhead, he develops in spiritual life and real knowledge of the Vedas. The example of Maharaj Khatvanga confirms this. I've forgotten the story of Maharaj Khatvanga. Anybody remembers? I forgot. Was he the one who was fighting?
वो किसी असुर से वो स्वर्ग में जाते हैं लड़ाई करने और फिर पूछते हैं तो मेरा लाइफ कितना है, उतना डिटेल नहीं, लेकिन फिर वो बोलते हैं 2 घड़ी, तो वो बोलते मुझे वापस पृथ्वी पे भेज दीजिए, और फिर वो हरिद्वार जाते हैं, कहाँ जाते हैं, ऐसा कुछ 1 घड़ी में भगवान का नाम लेके भगवत धाम की प्राप्ति करते हैं.
Yes, he was fighting for the devas. He was such a great fighter. So the devas employed him to fight on their behalf. And then suddenly, so when all battles were won, and he says, how long more do I have to live? So he said, so he was told, you have only 1 moment or something like that, right? 1 ghari. So then he says, send me back to earth, because 1 month, 1 ghari in 1 moment, and Swargalok is 6 months, right? On earth. So he very intelligently chose to come back on earth, and immediately he just absorbed himself in Krishna bhajan, right? His work was done. Okay, his work was done. So he absorbed himself in Krishna bhajan. So he has worked his entire life for the Supreme Lord, and he didn't have time to study, right, and develop an academic career, but he has worked on behalf of the Supreme Lord. So he surrendered to his work for the Supreme Lord. So one who surrenders is understood to have learned the subject matter of the Vedas very nicely. One who adopts this Vedic process of surrender learns devotional service and is certainly successful. So even though see, we have to balance this now. I would say that most of us, or all of us, we became devotees by the grace of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. These devotees actually studied with Srila Prabhupada, right? They studied, they understood, they got convinced, and they preached. Srila Prabhupada was with them for maximum 10 or 11 years, all right? Maximum 10, 11 years. And someone like Bhakti Charu Swami was with Srila Prabhupada, I think, for only 1 year. Only 1 year, all right? oldest was, I think, Mukunda Maharaj. All right. When Srila Prabhupada left, his disciples were in their 20s, maybe early 30s. All right. Just see the power of these 20s and 30s old men and women were that and all right. So they learned so much, so convinced. They continue to learn. Right? When Prabhupada left, as I said, they were boys. So they had that power because of full faith in the spiritual master till today. You meet our Guru Maharajas who are in their 70s, 80s, right? You meet them. They have only one name. Srila Prabhupada told us. They're carrying out Prabhupada's mission. They may have ups and downs in their lives, devotional lives, but they have fixed on only one thing: full faith in spiritual master and Krishna. So, even with no academic career, and many of them, they didn't have time after, they had to just work to spread this movement. Many of them didn't have to go and study, Bhagavatam, this, that. Later, gradually, they came back and started to study. Many of them. But they got the essence. So this is a practical example. Once they have got the essence, which is that they should obey the order of the spiritual master, they should serve Krishna, they did it with entire heart without pursuing an academic career. Nowadays, the demand, if you are to take sannyas, then you should have Bhakti Shastri, you should have this, right? I heard if you study Bhakti Vedanta, you can become guru. So nobody applies that. In ISKCON, nobody applies that. I don't know how many devotees already have certificate of Bhakti Vedanta, but nobody applies it in practical. That, okay, now here's your authorization to be guru. Everybody wants to know what is your character, how you're practicing. Are you able to hold people? Hold people meaning without letting them down? Are you able to make them connected to the Guru Parampara? Are you able to answer their basic questions? So, one who surrenders is understood to have learned the subject matter of the Vedas very nicely. I remember how my Guru Maharaj, when he has doubt about something, he will just pick up his beads and chant. We'll chant and chant and chant. And he'll wait for an answer. Then he will give the answer. And he's somebody who's one-to-one. He doesn't have he's not a mass preacher. He's a one-to-one teacher and spiritual master. So one who adopts this Vedic process of surrender learns devotional service and is certainly successful. One who is very proud, however, is unable to surrender either to the spiritual master or to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He cannot offer obeisances. If you look today at all our Guru Maharajas, all of them, they are so eager to pay that dandavat. They are suffering. They can't bend. They can't get up. Without fail, all our Guru Maharajas want to offer that Dandavat because this is the very first limb of bhakti. Dandavat. Don't say Dandavat in writing. Don't say Dandavat in words. Dandavat means flat on the floor. Yes, he cannot understand the essence. So, however, one who is very proud, however, is unable to surrender either to the spiritual masters or he doesn't want to offer obeisance. External obeisances, maybe everybody's offering, so I must also show my face and offer an obeisance. But actually, in the heart, it's not real. So, either to the spiritual master or the Supreme Person Godhead. Thus, he cannot understand the essence of any Vedic literature. So this story about Ridvik, Ridvik say that you take Diksha and you become disciple of Srila Prabhupada. When the whole few months back, when there was a whole explosion about it, Ridvik, winning case of this Ridvik people. So to my great amazement, they started putting up advertisement. You want to be proper disciple? Apply here. And I was reading again and I say, what? And fools will fall for it. So ISKCON, say, no, you have to do this, you have to do this, And here we are, we're offering open admission, right? In Prabhupada's, I don't know what. You want to be a Prabhupada disciple? Admission open. Apply here. And this devotee who will come, make the declaration, etc. My God, misleading people, in which hell will they go? Misleading the innocent people. Krishna, he kills the demons, right? These demons are different anathas. Gauranga Prabhu, he was giving one seminar in GV, and he had posted a list of anathas that is associated with each demons. And Bhakti Chaitanya Swami had given a series of lectures on these. You can check it out in vihe.org under Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, and it is demons in Vrindavan, right? So definitely this academic career that makes one become an offender to the Guru and which make us mislead others has only one path. It is the path to hell. He is very proud, however, is unable to surrender either to the spiritual master or to the Supreme Person Godhead. So it's as if I open a shop, So people, they open temples. Like I heard that when coronavirus happened, So some people, what they did, they were opening a temple with coronavirus Devi. They were going to install a deity, of coronavirus. And foolish people, what will they do? They will all go flocking there, right? They will go flocking there to put money, to put God knows what puja they will do for your coronavirus. So the police ran there and captured that man, right? And put him in jail. So this is the type of stuff that we do. So externally, we look like we are worshippers. So we'll have a temple, and because Radha Krishna is authorized, Nrsimhadev is authorized, Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Asura, these are all bona fide. Externally, everything looks like it is a bona fide temple, but it has no value. It has no value. It doesn't deliver the goods. What is the good? The good is that you surrender to Krishna. Just like these ordinary vachak, right? Professional reciters. They are reciting Bhagavatam, and after the whole katha, the audience remain the same materialistic, and the speaker remains the same materialist. Meaning it's asar, useless. Thus, he cannot understand the essence of any Vedic literature. Srimad Bhagavatam declares 11.11.18. Shabda Brahmani Nisnato na Nishnayat Parevyadi. Here it is. Shramastasya Shrama Phalo Hyadhenum Eva Rakshataha. If one is learned in the Vedic literature, but is not a devotee of Lord Vishnu, his work is a useless waste of labor, just like the keeping of a cow that doesn't give milk. Anyone who doesn't follow the surrendering process, but is simply interested in an academic career, cannot make any advancement. His profit is only his labor for nothing. If one is expert in the study of the Vedas, but does not surrender to a spiritual master of Vishnu, all his cultivation of knowledge is but a waste of time and labor. All right. So again, I would reiterate this point that if we will go on reading, studying Prabhupada's books and joining all online classes, which is okay, but we don't get associated with a temple. We don't practice. We don't tolerate the nonsense of other devotees and live with them. Don't criticize them. Don't this, that, that. There'll be no lessening of our pride. So very nicely, Aram say, we'll be sitting and listening to Katha. But useless labor. No practice. And therefore, we cannot access Krishna. And here the students lost everything. Let's continue this and then we'll stop. I had to take a long time because the purport was huge. Text 258. Tathapi dambhika paruya namra. Tathapi dambhika paruya namra nahi hai. Yahantahan prabhura ninda hasi se karai. But the proud student community didn't become submissive. Now I have given a whole class on that. On the contrary, the students spoke of the incident anywhere and everywhere, meaning they were gossiping in a laughing manner. They criticized the Lord. Be careful, be careful. Sometimes I have seen, right in my presence, I have seen devotees laughing and, laughing at other devotees. Be very careful. Don't belittle anyone thinking that one is unpar. You don't know who is this one, who is that one. So here he is. This manner from our previous conditional life to laugh at other people, to criticize other people. What did they do? Hasi, right? Hasi, hasi. My God. Sorry to say this, see, I lived a very protected, very secluded life as a child, even when I was a student. But when I came to ISKCON, I saw the world, which is very bad. Meaning that I saw all these things among devotees. This is how I learned the world and saw the world. I never saw anything of this in my own home. So meaning these are the anarthas that devotees carry forward with them even when they come in the community of devotees. They laugh at other devotees. The proud student community, dam bika paruya. Namra nahi. Namra nahi. They didn't become submissive. So what did they? They go yahan tahan. Everywhere they went, they laughed and criticized. Nimai Pandit. I mean, how dangerous. How dare they do such a thing? Right? My God. In a laughing manner, they criticize the Lord. Text 259. Sarvagya Gosani Jani Sabara Durgati. Ghare Vasi Chinteta Sabara Avyahati. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being omniscient, could understand the degradation of these students. Thus he sat at home contemplating how to rescue them. So that's why the relationship gets cut. Familiarity breeds contempt, right? If you're too long with a teacher, right? If you're too long with a teacher, you start finding fault with that teacher. So therefore, by Krishna's arrangement, or maybe by personal wish or whatever it is, you come close, and then, one devotee, he was giving this class. So he said that teachers are better than parents. He says teachers teach and let go of the students. Parents, they hold on to the children. So this is good that group of students come, they learn, and then they're separated, because familiarity breeds contempt. Then you start doing this, criticizing and laughing. So, okay, so we'll continue next week and see what decision Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took, why and how. This is very, very intense, but this is like the end of this Adi Lila. Is there any other chapter? Okay, so this is the last chapter of Adi Lila. All right, so that's how now he will start another life. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will start another life because he failed. He taught. He taught whatever, and then he came to a point where he failed. Right? So he had to take a different step. So this is how, the acharyas, they have to devise ways and means by which they can elevate the fallen souls. Yeah. So now we'll see a lot of self-sacrifice that went into it. Like Srila Prabhupada, he taught extensively. And then when he left this world. This is what we hear. This is what we hear. When it was practically last year of his life, he said, only 50% of my work is done. Another 50%. Prabhupada focus on giving us exactly what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us now, what you're studying in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So those fortunate students of Chaitanya Charitamrita, you are getting the essence of what Srila Prabhupada taught. You're getting the essence of what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, and you're getting it through Srila Prabhupada. All right. Then Prabhupada was saying that 50% of his work is not done because he saw that people are not able to practice pure Krishna consciousness. So he said Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma, which is like it's a stepping stone to Krishna consciousness. It is following basic rules and regulations of dharma. Being situated in your own ashrama, and as much as possible in this chaos of Kali Yuga where you don't know what is your career. Like here we find that these Brahman boys was making an academic career of the Vedas. Right? That's what they were doing, and that was the failure. They were making academic career of the Vedas. And right now, starting at the very beginning, be careful, our devotees also, that we don't make an academic career of our study of Srila Prabhupada's books. If you ask for me, I have never seen myself as a teacher of books. At no point. It's like I love reading Prabhupada's books and I like to speak. So I gather friends. I gather whoever is ready to listen, and I'm just sharing. At no point am I thinking, that, okay, I'm a teacher, even though sometimes they give me this label. When I'm teaching, Bhakti Shastri, this one, that one. I'm given that label, you're a teacher, but I'm not. I'm not. Sharing whatever I'm finding in Srila Prabhupada's books with groups of friends, or whoever wants to learn, whoever is inquiring, who is sincerely inquiring. Like I said on this, I have a group on Tuesday. So many people came and as usually disappeared. Only one girl, a young girl. I said, okay, we go online. She grabbed and said, no. She started running. No, I will come for the class. What did she do? She brought her mother, then she brought her friends, but somehow then let's have a group and let us go on. This one girl, and she put it on the group every week. Today's class. One girl, 20 years, 20, 21, 23-year-old girl. So you're fortunate. You're very fortunate that you are regular. This group has been very regular. I want to listen to this Chaitanya Charitamrita. And whoever else is, hearing the classes on Facebook who regularly goes, I don't know who they are. I find some 50, 60 people are coming regularly. I don't know who they are. But if they are actually serious and they want to learn, here's the opportunity. So that was very, very instructive. And this is laying the foundation for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lila in the Madhya Lila. All right, I think we should close now.
Mataji, I just want to add something here. You just now said that you you've never you never wanted to be a teacher or whatever. I mean, that being one of the reason that if you would see that I've been with you for a while, in whichever capacity, I might not be the best of your students or whatever, but I have stayed with you specifically because I see you following. Uh,
You're frozen. Or am I frozen? Oh, she's frozen. Okay, Krishna doesn't want her to speak. All right. So we'll end here then. Her internet is not working.
uh,
Oops.
and I really, whosoever that I have met, and many people have said the Devuti, your involvement, blah blah. I said where I need to get involved, and my heart connects for a reason. I connect no matter what. Even if I'm in midst of everything, I will take out that time no matter what. And I connect with Mataji. She might not see me personally, but I'm there somewhere listening to her lectures. And you do a lot of other classes. You will see me off and on. I am there. I'm watching. I'm putting a thumbs
Yeah, yeah.
up. I'm putting a comment here and there. And Mataji, I have found very few Matajis like you. Everything is career based, everything is with a personal agenda, not because, well, I need to read, I need to learn, I need to make others learn, I need to make others devotees. This plain thing I find missing, and I really love that about you. And today, just because we are talking that thing, it is my appreciation from my heart.
All right. So let's be together, so
Yes,
long
and
as we
that is my only
stay
prayer
here.
every day, that I need to be together. My son's age and my togetherness with you. I'm 7 years with you now, 2 years before I got married. So,
Okay. All right. All right.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay,
Pancha
let's
kalpatrubhyascha kripa
share.
sindhuvaya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna.
माता जी,
Yes.
आपने कहा कि ऐसे दंडवत बोलने से नहीं होता, करना चाहिए, लेकिन क्या हम आपको देखते हैं जब आप आते हैं तो हमें नहीं बोलना चाहिए दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी?
See, Dandavat we actually see now, I know we are old, right? But actually we offer obeisances.
We are on
It is not,
online, no? So we
oh,
can't say you
okay, yeah,
that
like
Dandavat
right
Pranam
now we are
Mataji.
saying,
Yeah.
like right now we are saying Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Right? We are saying it. So we are
Yes.
reciting a mantra, right?
Mm.
This Dandavat Pranam is not a mantra, is it?
No, it's not a mantra,
It's
but
not a mantra, right? We are saying, what am I saying? What does it mean, Dandavat Pranam?
I bow down into
I
you.
offer my
I
obeisances
offer
to
my
you.
obeisances to you.
We are not saying, we are not doing it.
No, we are not doing it.
We are not doing it.
Okay.
It's not a verb. It's a noun.
Okay. So we have to say Pranam Mataji.
Yes, we should offer
But
obeisance.
here online.
Yeah, we said Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa
Okay.
Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. This is our Vaishnav Pranam.
Okay.
Right? You follow?
Hmm.
I don't know who started that story of, Dandavat Pranam. I don't know who started it.
Hmm.
Who? I don't know. It's a noun. It's not a verb. All right. I
Okay.
really don't know. It's unfortunate. One person starts it and then it spreads.
Hmm.
I spread. And we don't think about it. We don't analyze. We don't. What are you saying? What are you doing? I laughed when I first heard it. It's a noun. It's not a verb. So when we are meeting, we are saying Hare Krishna. At least this is better, right? And we are ending, we are reciting the mantra.
Mantra.
And when we meet personally, we do bow down, right?
Yes, yes.
And then we are paying. It's actually, we are not even doing dandavat. What we're doing?
Panchang, Panchang,
Panchanga,
Panchang
right?
Pranam.
Panchang Pranam. Yeah, we are not doing dandavat. We are doing Panchang Pranam. So why don't you say Panchang Pranam, Mataji? Why don't you say, well, it's a sound, right? You understand?
Hare Krishna.
Ridiculous.
Okay, now we have
Ridiculous.
to say Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes. Yeah,
And after class, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha.
yeah, you know, we at least we fold our hands and we say, this is sufficient. You know, this is sufficient.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Vedic culture is so practical, you know, so practical. All the time we don't, you know, we are not able or we don't want or whatever happened, you know, we don't want to go down on our knees but this is accepted, right? It is 100% accepted.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.